Seems fine so far? Okay, perfect, perfect. I was wondering about that. Okay, so we're back to normal. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. There goes my bit rate. Oh, and I dropped mom's spaghetti.
Poor one, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress.
As Old Bag was saying.
Mr. Nick, what do vials and wild temptress mean?
Heck. How about we just listen to what Ms. Oldback has to say for now, okay, Pearls? So, Ms. Oldback, who is this woman you're talking about?
Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl into Juan on purpose.
His own manager? But why?
I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud.
Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Ms. Oldback?
I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know.
Do you have proof that Mr. Ungar did what you say he did?
Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so.
Of course. A tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldback have information like that, and where did she get it? Let's go to the Criminal Affairs Department for now. March 21st, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
Doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective is here.
Great, not even Pearls is calling him Scruffy. Thanks, Francisca. He said something about an investigation briefing earlier, right? Why don't we come back and try again later when they're done?
Okay, I guess that's all we can do, right, Mr. Nick?
Yep, that's all we can do. Do you know anything about this? What do you think about this article? You were talking about her thing with Juan. I always thought she was a bit careless in the way she handled it. And that's it? That's it. Well, that's all you can tell me then. Maybe we have something we can present to Lada. Maybe. She only has 2 Cyclops anyway, so let's see what happens here. Lada, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? My scoop.
What I want to know about are the details of this scoop.
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, there's my bread and butter.
Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lada Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Corrida and this person.
This woman...
She's Adrian Andrews, Met Unguard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager, caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm.
You're pretty good at this guessing then, Mr. Lawyer. But I can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup.
Yeah. You gotta have what's it? News source.
Oh, you mean news source?
Yeah, that's it. So show me something that shows that one guy had something Miss Andrews.
Oh, that's easy. Here. Oh, hold on. I pressed the wrong button. We got this, though. So basically, it only it reacts with her when you show her through the Cyclock sequence, not regular present. All right, we got this. We got this. Skippity skip 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 skippity skip skip skip. Skippity skip skip skip. Oh, I keep on pressing the wrong button again. It's just straight up back and forth of me pressing the wrong button. Evidence. Go back to this. Magazine clipping. Boom. Here we go. This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous? To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss Double A. Mr. Kurita didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. On Guard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials Double A. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Kurita's door last night.
Wah!
GG's. Yeet those Cyclocks. Yeet them out of here. You were looking into Mr. Kurita, Ms. Andrews' affair, weren't you?
You got it. I was gonna give myself a scoop by catching him in a secret meeting.
But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news.
What'd you just say? Our initials are Double A. What kind of vague thing is that? It ain't no proof or nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do. That's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story.
Wow, Lana. Nice journalist integrity you got there.
I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone. Your note to yourself? It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me.
Yeah, I understand.
It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone don't steal something from me.
You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie.
She's got one of them personalities like she's whipped without her whip. How's that? A pun worthy of a joke book, yeah?
Sorry, I zoned out.
Ah, well, I'll forgive the wax in your ears this once and tell it to you one more time. This old granny? Ah,
Oh, okay, ready, read that. So we're now back at the Criminal Affairs Department. March 21st, Police Station Criminal Affairs Department. I think we're going along pretty swimmingly well. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Hey, so you came, pal.
Why the blunt greeting?
Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight.
But, you can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive.
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves.
The scandal with Mr. Kurita? But why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Oh, damn it.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Kurita's manager.
The victim's manager?
Well, that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
Her mentor?
A woman who was both Mr. Kurita's manager and Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case?
Do you want to know more about her, pal? The stuff in that glass is tomato juice, pal.
Tomato juice.
I heard the victim really loved that stuff. Favorite drink in the world.
Was his favorite drink? First I've heard that.
You look at this photo and you can't help it. It makes you want to say, I can't believe this is the scene of a murder.
Stabbed with a knife after a struggle. A clue is sleeping in this photo. I know. Well, we got the wine glass already, so.
There's something interesting about this woman, pal.
And what is that?
You don't know? Haven't you heard the gossip about her?
Gossip, huh? I wonder if he knows anything about that article. Okay, so he's pretty much going to say the same thing when we present the profiles, so we don't need to do that.
Aw, it's kinda cute. Mr. Nick, what is this stuffed animal's name?
Oh, that's the Blue Badger. It was my idea. I made it. It's this precinct's mascot, you know?
Oh, wow.
I'll get him a signed mascot of every police station, if it's the last thing I do.
I hope you succeed in your mission, sir.
Image training for arrest, that's interesting. Alright, let's talk to Gumshoe. Let me actually hold up 1 second. Hold up 1 second, hold up. The Hero Heroes Award Ceremony? The grand prize got away from the Jammin' Ninja again? Shouldn't you be reading something more important? I gotta shift cameras a lot because I keep on moving my seat. Alright, talk to us about Celeste.
She was the victim's manager, and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence. What?
I I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Ms. Von Karma.
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You're no longer needed. Goodbye. That's...
Oh, wait, please wait, sir. If I don't get this...
quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you...
I would have won. Is that what you wanted to say?
Hoo-hoo!
That voice.
Edgeworth! He is returneth!
Edgy boy has returned! It's been a long time, right?
This person, is this Mr. Edgeworth?
What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Francisca.
You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are.
Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Francisca. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country.
You!
You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back.
Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given it yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix right. I will see you tomorrow, in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory.
Still the same wild mare she always was. Ah, damn it, I didn't get the last bit of information from Gumshoe. I didn't get that other bit of information. I was interested to see what else he would say. Wait, how far did we need to go back now? Oh, Psych-Lock, of course. Alright, we'll save after this. Skippity skip fast forward. We gotta get back to where Edgy Boy was. Alright, let's move over to the police station. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight?
I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces.
The two?
And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest.
That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. On Guard.
Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai special pants.
And the second one is?
The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints of the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Hey, fingerprints. Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's pretty obvious. They're on guards.
Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony?
It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag.
I thought so.
What do you mean, you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal?
Well,
I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone.
her blab knob is stuck on 10. There's no turning it down, trust me.
Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. On Guard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way. Masaka.
Or would it be like, as the Japanese would put it, Majide? Alright, let's breeze through this so we can get Mr. Edgy Boy to show up again. I would have won, is that what you want to say? Bam, 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 he's back. Bum, ba, da, bum. And ever since then, this has become Miles Edgeworth's signature theme. I like the rendition of this theme from Dual Destinies, actually, when I first heard it. Alright, let's save here. Let's continue, because I'm sure we can find information from Mr. Edgy Boy here. He has returned! We are looking into leads. We can only look into a few key players with our limited sources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person. Why don't you just tell him to be straight and say I don't have any info? This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago. She was suddenly called away by a different show, and became Juan Kurita's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. There's still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Okay, again, this is another grammar thing. There's still one riddle we've yet to solve. The D should not be here. Man, they really have not finished checking the spelling and grammar on the last case here. Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself. A secret? You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it. Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto. Refreshing? And what is so refreshing about a spring breeze? Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year. There is an interesting rumor about this man. You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? And that's pretty common to Bloid Fair, isn't it? I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. A lot of things may have happened, however, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor. And a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd been better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Franziska, she almost always says,
I will defeat you this time the instant
she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Speaking of time, what about tomorrow's trial? I thought you, the prosecutor, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick,
I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet. It seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside his head. This is not like him. Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that, there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impax had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who could hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Carita himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Carita hid his own manager's suicide note, but why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? I think we have what we need to actually approach Miss Andrews. March 21st, Gatewater Hotel on guard's hotel room. Well,
looks like Miss Andrews
isn't here. That's not good. We still have a few questions I still want to ask her.
She has that psych lock on her heart, right?
Well, we don't have much of a choice. I guess we'll have to come back later. Darn it. Oh, nothing to find in here. Alright, what the heck are we missing now? You know something about this person, do you, dude? Hmm?
What's wrong?
How much do you know? What do you mean, how much? Mr. Lawyer? I may be your client, but dude, I hope you will keep yourself out of my personal life. No, I would never. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lunch appointment I have to keep. You're in detention. Who in the world are you going to eat with? The security guard?
Mr. Nick?
The Celeste Impacts lady. Somehow I get the feeling she is a very important person in all of this. So that's the trigger. I think? Nope, that's not the trigger. We need to trigger something else. Yeah, we need to trigger something else to get... Alright, I actually need to be right back real quick. I need to think about what else we need to do to get, like, Adrian Andrews to trigger and show up again. I'll be right back for a bit, folks. Okay, I have returned. So, let's think about this. What the heck do we also have to do to trigger Miss Andrews to come back? We find out a scandal about managers getting touchy-touchy and I don't know. I don't like to look through other reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has two. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name... Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, this is getting juicier by the minute.
Boy.
Miss Andrews, what did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Is Andrews dependent? Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And why did she think about committing suicide? Because she hadn't apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will, but why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that...
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without much an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others? When Celeste Impax suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. That means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She is only copying her mentors' behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Now we have the full report. Now we can find her. Alright, thank you, Edgy Boy. I think we know how to put the nail in the coffin tonight on this investigation. Alright, here we go. March 21st, Gatewater Hotel, On Guard's hotel room.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. It looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma.
Miss Von Karma? What are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around.
Following you?
That's you, Miss Von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls?
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl.
What's that?
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective.
And with this, I know that fool's every move.
So that noise you heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews? Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
All right, four more Cyclocks. Let's do this. I got this. We could do this. We're about to crack her. We're about to crack this case, or her case. Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Enguarde's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida.
You were not that close?
That's right, I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You're not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow, I highly doubt that. You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not?
A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, it seems quite a few people have already brought this into the story.
Has to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars.
Note to self, stay on her good side.
In any case, I despise internet personal relationships like that.
I see, however, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Me? Need to get close to Mr. Corrida, as if there was ever such a need?
Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake? Your mentor, Celeste Impacts? Celeste Impacts, your mentor.
How do you know about Celeste?
Miss Impacts, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death she was Juan Corrida's manager. So, I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a silly muckraker for a future third-rate tabloid.
Muckraker. Not a word that a lot of people say. Miss Andrews?
There was no mystery surrounding her death, none. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing.
Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. After all, the note is hidden. Ms. Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? Gasp! Le gasp! It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida.
Juan?
And Ms. Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. 2 locks to go.
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Miss Celeste was my mentor, however, allow me to say this again. I had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
That's the impression you like to give, however. I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impacts was someone very special to you. Suicide note. Suicide report part 2. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through it with it, did you?
Went through with what?
Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong, independent woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself.
Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember.
On the contrary, that is all just a lie. It's a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on.
That's...
You were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impacts' note? You heard about it and thought to recover it for him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
It was why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with a reason to want him dead.
Me?
Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. So we're actually putting the... Oh. Oh.
Boy.
We're shifting the... We're now going to try to shift the blame from Matt to freaking double A mismanager over here. Damn. Okay, Phoenix. Okay, Phoenix. I see you grilling. All right. All right. Last lock.
Murder?
Oh, never mind. We yeeted the final lock. How do you like them apples?
It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence.
Ain't that honestly? That's really a hard truth right there. Not having a lot of self-confidence is quite real.
I pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews. This one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone.
I'm sorry.
You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you?
Please, Ms. Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste, without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me.
So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct?
Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
If they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning.
Isn't that the truth about tabloid articles in general, though?
But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so...
I understand.
Oh, so I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews? If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than to live.
All right, I'll understand. We'll keep it a secret. Ms. Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking through first. I'm kind of like that kind of person, too.
Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card. Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding?
Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
What is it? It looks like a seashell?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from.
Her not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. On Guard in your capable hands.
Oh, hey, where's Lotta? March 21st Gatewater Hotel hallway. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearls, she looks so worn out by all of this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am.
You don't look fine to me. Well, at least if we were able to, I mean, this has been an extensive investigation. We've been able to put, like, the pieces of the puzzle together, like, relatively alright. Not gonna lie, relatively alright. March 21st, Police Station Criminal Affairs Department.
There's no one here. Everyone's gone. I wonder if the three of them want to eat together.
I don't think they'd ever do that. They're probably in yet another meeting. March 21st, Wright and Company Law Offices.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean this impacts his suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Ah, Mr. Nick, the transceiver!
Hello, Wright and Company Law Offices.
Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone.
Maya, where's Maya?
As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time.
Phew.
Which is why, I suppose, she is absolutely famished.
What?
So I suggest you win a quick aquadol, my friend. At any cost. Would you agree?
Wait, Maya, let me hear her.
Very well.
Ask my
Maya, is that you?
sis. Ask my sis.
Maya! Damn it, he cut me off.
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis. Oh, what does she mean by... Oh, Mia.
Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one.
Sorry. Ah! Mia!
I have a message from Maya, so come, ask me anything you want about her.
I'm literally presenting you Maya's profile picture. Alright, we actually have to talk with her. How's Maya?
She's safe for now. That kidnapper's want to keep his word, it seems.
I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know?
As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left, and I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could.
I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like?
I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drunk there.
And?
She didn't see the face of her attacker. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her.
When you were with her? Date, time, location, all unknown. It looks like a wine cellar, though.
I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie or a burger. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now.
There's a piece of paper on the floor.
What's this? Looks like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry. Not really thirsty. Feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And they feel like barrels.
We're looking at boxes, Maya.
They're all piled of things, but it's too dark to see. Drat, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card. Or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door.
But Maya, TV is TV. It doesn't work all the time. Oh, would you look at that? Hold on.
Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Ah, that's it. A shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it. Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried.
Did she really escape, though? Did she really escape? I wouldn't say she completely escaped. So, okay, so it's March 22nd, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Okay, let's see how we're doing with this case so far in terms of pacing. Let me just double check. In terms of pacing. Okay, so... Alright, so we went through 2 days worth of crap so far, so there's 2 more days. It's this day, and it's the next day. Alright. If anything, we should get through at least, like, probably this. Yo, Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. It's almost time. Oh, hey, Mia. Mia.
Must get a complete Aquadol today.
If not the next day. I know. I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I had to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed. Well, let's get going.
It's him. This is right.
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney.
The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Oh, wait, choke the frickin' mate. Okay. The kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Oh boy, here we go. March 22nd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where's the prosecution?
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Hey, Your Honor.
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman.
What?
Well, at least she was, well... Did she die? Shot?
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present.
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. You're...
I thought he'd show up. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Welcome back, Edgeworth. Welcome back. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ungard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct, for now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facts of this case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Alright, so the bare facts of the case.
This murder happened after the hero of the Heroes Awards ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
After the awards ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room.
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their rooms, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
I'm literally having legit goosebumps right now. I'm like talking in a very low octave because of how much goosebumps I have right now. The first order of business should be to gather more info from his testimony, but it might be a trap set us for us somewhere.
Maybe, however, setting off traps is part of a lawyer's job now, too.
If you say so. So we gotta press him. We gotta press the press button. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
Oh, she's the defendant, Matt Ungard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
Oh, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
Oh my god. Your Honor, she will, but let's not worry about that right now. I honestly feel like she needs a boyfriend. An actual boyfriend. Or an actual partner, depending on her sexual preference.
When a
post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. That's when she found the victim's body.
So the cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Kurita was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana.
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Oh, yes, I see. His banana-scented
Your Honor, please. Then, what about the knife?
It seems to be stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murder on our hands here.
So can it be assumed... Can it be assumed that he died due to strangulation? Okay, yeah, so he died due to strangulation, and the knife was meant to be misleading. Okay. Okay, this is getting juicy, What convinced you the guitar case had nothing to do with this murder?
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corina, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So that guitar case was empty before he got to the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
And why did you think that?
Oh, because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar, and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but
But
the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Why arrest on guard?
Matt on guard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Onguard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over their knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. And there's this button.
Which was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
Yo, what? Gee whiz.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Okay. Why arrest him? A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with on guard's fingerprints.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
We're still in a world of trouble.
Well, before you battle, you must find your enemy's weakness.
So let's find the weakness in this testimony. Okay, so there's a contradiction in this one. Okay. When was this button found?
Oh, pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corrida. And then we did a search on the mall. That's when we found the button.
Oh, so it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the tough free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Ugh, well, it's not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for.
Phoenix,
Yes?
there's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
A button covered in the victim's blood. Alright, so B is obviously saying that something is up with this last piece of the testimony. Mm-mm. So there's a contradiction in that statement. Alright, I object. Wait a second. Choto frickin' mate.
What?
So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand?
Oh, that's right, pal. The defendant.
Did not buy this knife.
Uh-huh.
Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh? It has gatewater sealed onto it has a gatewater seal set onto the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel, detective.
Uh-oh.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. The prosecution probably will argue back, saying that, like, even with a premeditated murder, you use what you can find.
That is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not realize this.
But I didn't... Oh.
The question is, where did this knife come from?
Wait, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There
is a knife and fork on the table already. Where in the world did this knife come from?
And if it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt on guard's knife was missing. Mr. On guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he'd used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife to visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Told you. I called it, folks. I called it.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
Seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps. I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button for the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I could safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown?
He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well,
Phoenix? The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer this with something wrong here,
that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
What if I say... I'm gonna go with both choices. What if I say I... This has to be another trap. Better if I don't say anything than risk throwing out a bad piece of evidence.
Looks like the defense isn't saying a peep on this one.
Which means this court is adjourned.
Phoenix, we will lose this case if you give up here. So you better show the judge something, quick.
Slow down. We all know I have a tendency to be wrong more than... I can't even say it. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
Oh, it's happening again, is it? The Twitch knows I'm about to mess up, and they're gonna actually cut the bitrate on me right now. Like, Twitch is telling me there's instability. What am I supposed to do about it? What am I actually supposed to do about it? I can't do a single thing. Not on the spot, because you can't do that from your software. Alright, give me 1 second, folks. I need to think about this. I'll be right back in a quick minute or so.